Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Wait a minute. Uh, let me see. Okay, it's working. All right, it's done. Yeah. So let's begin the class. How are you?
Good. And you?
So right. Today the schedule is going to be 1.5 hours, right?
Yeah, right.
And by 3:30. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll open the file first. Okay. Um, Start from today and the 3 days after, we will go for the IELTS question part 3.
Okay.
Um, and there are several types of questions there, like comparing question, predicting, why question, which is you have to give the reason behind something, and then advantage, disadvantage. And actually, there are still 2 or 3 questions left, but since we can't cover it up, then that's why we can't do that. But still, you can find it in any reference out there, like in ieltsmentor.com or in IELTS list or any other websites.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but from those questions, there are 5 that I think the most common questions that we will discuss for the next 3 days. But
Okay.
if we can't cover it up, then probably just 1 or 2 or 3 questions at least, which are more common than the 5 of the rest questions.
Okay.
Um, for today, we will go for the first type question. It is comparing question.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the question will be asked in different ways. Yeah, it could be. Wait a minute. Yeah, it could be time comparison where you have to compare something in the past and something in the present moment. It could be something. It could be someone. It could be the way something changed or something.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. And also, it could be social group comparison, like men and women, or old and young people, like children and adult. Okay, so those are the social group comparison. And the last one would be geographical comparison, which is not so common, I can say. Um, like, what is the
I
difference? Can
see.
you compare something between things that happen in this area and
Mm-hmm.
in other area, for example? So it's really depends on the topic that you have anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
there will be only 3 different ways for this question type: time comparison, social group comparison, and geographical comparison. Okay.
Okay.
And you also need to know that, for example, like in time comparison,
Mm-hmm.
in this term, the tenses that you are going to use mostly are mixing tenses, because you compare between something in the past and something present,
Okay.
right? So don't forget to use the mixed tenses there. When you talk about something in the past, then you have to use the past tenses. But when you do compare it for the present moment, then you have to use the present tenses, most of them.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So let's say I have the example here. Do men and women like the same hobbies? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as always, I tell you that we have to open our talk or our answer by having a linking phrase like well, clearly, unquestionably, sure, without a doubt. Yeah, fill in the blank. Okay.
Okay.
And then since we have to compare, then you have to use this linking sentence, which the point is stating this one that there are some differences here. So actually, this is the linking sentence for this
Okay.
comparing question, because you are going to start to compare things, means that you start to distinguish what difference that they have, right? And there are
Okay.
several ways to say, rather than saying there are some differences, you can change to be, for example, there are a number of underlying differences, or there are a variety of possible differences. Up to you. They have the same meaning anyway.
Okay.
And then if it's possible, try to put two differences. Yeah, two
Mm-hmm.
differences. So for the first difference, probably you can say this way to begin with, right? However, I guess that the most significant would be that you can use also, but I would say that the most fundamental would be that, yeah, it's the same thing anyway. And then you um, start to state what the difference for the first difference. Yeah, like for example, men
Mm-hmm.
tend to prefer, for example. So, however, I guess that
Okay.
the most significant would be that, and then what is the difference, and then um, for example, this one, the example like men tend to prefer what, for example, in terms of hobbies. And
Okay.
then if it's also possible, try to put the example as well in to make it clear. Okay, like especially, particularly, in fact, such as, for example, up to you. You can just use one that you think more suitable for your style of speaking. And now use the first comparative linking structure, because you are going to compare between men and women. Now you have done to state the difference on men. Now is your time to compare what's the difference in women. So whereas on the other hand, for example,
Mm-hmm.
women are generally keener on what depends on your idea. And then same
Okay.
like previously, you have to develop the second part of the first difference with a simple linking word like especially, particularly the same with the previous example. Yeah. But my
Okay.
suggestion for you, if you have used one of the linking word, for example, when you explain, when you state the difference for the man, probably you use the
Mm-hmm.
particularly word. Then in this
Mm-hmm.
case, probably you want to change to be, for example, especially, or for example, or specifically, up to you. Okay.
Okay.
And now you have described one difference. Men tend to be this way, women are keener on doing this way. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you still have one more difference that you have to state about. If you want to make the transition from one difference to another difference, then
Mm-hmm.
I suggest you use one of these linking words, like moreover, in addition. After that, up to you. Just choose one that you think the most suitable
Okay.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then same like before, so you have to use the difference phrase or difference sentence here, same like before. Like
Mm-hmm.
a second key distinction would be that, and then you put the second difference. For example, men are quite keen on, but it's different idea, right? And then the same like before,
Mm-hmm.
use
Yes.
the second comparative linear structure, like firstly, alternatively, while on the other hand, yeah, then you give a sentence to describe the second part of the second difference. So the full answer would be this way. Like, well, obviously there are a number of clear differences. However, I guess that the most significant would be that men tend to prefer sporting activities such as football or basketball. Yeah. So the idea is sporting activities that are different, and also he gave the example to make it clear, like are what sporting activities are, which
Mhm.
states here like football or basketball. Whereas in contrast, women prefer things like shopping for clothes. In addition to this, another possible distinction might be that men usually like watching films, while on the other hand, women are more likely to prefer watching soap operas
Uh,
on TV. So there are two differences there. The
okay.
first is in terms of the sporting activities. Okay. Oh, sorry, the activities that
Mhm.
they like to do, and the second terms is
Mhm.
on like more like the hobby, yeah, like the activities related to like entertaining activities like watching
Watching
films
films.
for men, and for women they like
Mhm.
watching soap operas or drama, sinetron in Indonesia. Okay, for example, and
Okay.
just that. So just two differences is enough. Arena. Is that a question?
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
uh, what happen if I just talk just one difference?
It's fine as long as it's clear. I mean, you make it clear. You
Okay.
can add probably for the example more specific details.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Because the time in this uh, part is quite strict. So try to be effective when you speak. It's fine just one or two differences. The point is it's clear.
Uh-huh.
Even though it's just one difference, when it's
Okay.
clear, it's fine. Okay. Is there
Oh.
any question?
Uh, maybe may I screenshot
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
this slide, please,
From the
sir?
beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
From here it is.
Okay. Next slide, sir, please. Okay, sir. Next, please, sir.
Mhm.
Very. Uh, Next slide, sir, please. Yes. Okay, sir. Uh, okay. The next one, please, sir. Okay. Okay. The example.
Now the question.
Oh, this is the common question, yes, sir, in part
Mhm.
three.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
say that around 70 or 80% of the question on part three will be comparing question. Is like I can say it's the most common question.
Oh,
I'm not saying that
okay.
it will come out in your test, but most likely
Mhm,
it will come out.
mhm.
Okay. So that's why you have
All right.
to broaden your views or your perspective on this question to make it easy if you get this question in the future on the test. Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Um,
sir.
Now let's practice. We have plenty of questions here, so pick one that you think the easiest one.
You maybe let's see. Uh, maybe the third one, sir.
The third one,
Are the restaurant
restaurants
nowadays the
nowadays the same
same?
as restaurants. Okay. Anyway, in part three, you wouldn't have time to think. I mean, like you wouldn't have
Okay.
time to take the note. I mean, not thinking. Of course, you can think. Um, but since we still have time, I mean, like I want you to use all the phrases that I have just given you So probably I will
Mm-hmm.
give you time to think and try to arrange your ideas inside the borders of the phrases, okay? So that you will
Right.
have a good arrangement of the ideas there. So is that okay? Probably
Okay,
one,
sir.
two, three questions, maybe more, until you finally get to use the phrases there about this type of question. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? Tell me when you're ready, okay?
Okay. Restaurant now. This. This. Bus. Sir, by the way, how long for this part, sir?
Hmm. So anyway, probably it's gonna take around, if it's possible, try to make it not too long, not too short, but probably around 45 seconds till
45.
probably 1 minute,
1 minute.
because it's a deeper discussion.
Okay.
You have you actually you're expected to speak more in this term, and
Okay.
yeah, like how good your knowledge about that topic will be will be assessed by the examiner as well. So the ideal time is going to be around 50 seconds to probably 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I'll try.
All right.
Uh, can I start now, sir?
Yeah. Okay. You can start.
Oh, well, currently there are a number of possible differences here between the restaurant in past and nowadays. However, I guess the most significant differences are the way in using of technology. For example, uh, we tend to in the past we tend to or we had to come to the restaurant to enjoy the meal or just order the meal. Uh, ho- However, nowadays we just we can order the meal from our home just by use the modern technology like a smartphone or the Android technology. And then uh, moreover, uh, I would say that in past period, our restaurant mostly served serve the local food like Indonesian, Japanese, or Padanese, or yeah, some local food. But nowadays, we see that many restaurant in Indonesia uh, is sorry are a brands of the uh, foreign restaurant. I mean that franchise of uh, others well-known restaurant abroad.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a good answer anyway. Um,
Uh,
the idea is starting to be clear. I mean, when you use the template answer that I gave about the phrases and all the others, then
mhm,
it helps you to build your idea a lot easier, like what you have done just now. Even though I can say that there are some grammatical mistakes as always. Sometimes you forgot
yeah.
to put the subject verb agreement. Sorry, sometimes you forgot the subject verb agreement, like singular
Mhm,
subject followed by singular of plural verb, or sometimes singular. Sorry, sometimes plural subject followed by singular verb. So this thing still happen quite often. Um,
mm.
in terms of the pronunciation, you said restaurant several times, right? Restaurants.
All right.
You know that the right one is supposed to be restaurant without o there.
Restaurant.
So restaurant.
Restaurant.
Tron.
Restaurant.
Tron. Restaurant. Without o.
Restaurant.
Without o. Without o.
Without
Without
O.
vowels in the middle t and er. So restaurant.
Restaurant.
Yeah.
Restaurant.
Restaurant. Can you? Okay.
Restaurant.
All right. Yeah. Just that
Restaurant.
probably that I can say. But overall, it's a good answer. Well done. Next question.
Sir,
Yeah. What is
sir.
it?
Uh, w- we when we talk or discuss about this part three,
hmm hmm
like I just talked previously, I didn't say the conclusion is
Oh,
that
conclusion.
right? Mm-hmm.
Because you have put the introduction that there are several differences, right? Right.
Okay.
So it
Yeah, yeah.
so that's why you don't have to close it with the conclusion, because you have put the introduction. After that, you put the
Uh-huh.
explanation. The explanation, inside the explanation there is
Mm-hmm.
example as well, and it has, since it has been
Okay.
arranged in a very tidy way, I can say. So it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be put, so you don't have to put the conclusion for this question. And look here, there is there is no, look, there is no conclusion, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Uh-huh.
That's enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next question. Since you are a teacher, probably the first idea is a good idea. The first question, I mean, okay, about schools. Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Uh, is there any time for me to make some
Okay.
notes?
Yeah. Yeah. You can make the note first. until you're sure that
Okay.
the phrases that you use is already I mean you already get used to it, then I will let you without the note. So it depends on you.
Okay, sir.
If you think that you're ready without the note, then let's do it without the note, because we have plenty of questions anyway,
Okay.
and we still have a lot of time. So just take
Mhm.
your time. Easy.
Uh, I'm ready, sir.
Ready?
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, there are a number of possible differences between the modern schools and uh, schools in past period. However, I think the most significant differences are uh, the way of using the technology in school. For example, in nowadays we are know that we are at school, the school using many kinds, many types of technology like online class, an interactive methodology from teacher to students, and also like the electronic book or some we can say that exercise that by using online then more interactive uh, rather in past to compare with uh, they are less of using technology because in the past we had to or the teacher must came to the class to taught the students, and also the books must be in hard cover. I mean, didn't like now with the electronic books. Uh, and moreover, in the past, like between the students and the teachers, may might be from the far away location. I mean that maybe some of the difficulties in the way to the school because of less of transportation and other things. And the others that we can say the comparison between schools nowadays and the past in today's school there are so many assignment or homework that make the students no free time or just their time to play with friends or families. In comparison with the past, school gave the students less homework and assignment, so they could play or had much time to have a fun time with friends and family.
Oh
That's
wow,
answer.
yeah, it's good one. It's quite long anyway, but still I can find that it's still acceptable. Okay. Long but
Okay.
brief. I mean, brief is like consists of any needed information needed for the for answering the question. Um,
Okay.
okay. Even though, yeah, I can still spot some grammatical mistakes there. Like you say, I forget, must came. Students must came. You said that. Must, I forgot. Came to what?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah, yeah,
must
yeah.
came. It's a model. Okay, you have to remember that model is always followed by verb one or base verb. It's supposed to be must come.
All right, all
And
right.
then you said people using. Sorry, not people. School school using modern technology or something. You said that. I can't forget that.
Yeah, yeah, technology,
Right?
sir. Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Uh-huh.
school use modern technology. I mean, like school nowadays use modern technology. Like for example, and you have explained the modern technologies are, so it's quite good. Um, so the idea, I can say that it's quite neat the way you arrange the idea from the, the
Okay.
transition. You arrange the idea and then you put it into the answer. So for the ideas, I have no complaint at all, and it's also coherence. I mean, it answers the question about how
Oh, okay.
schools are. Okay, just probably the only about the grammar, and even the pronoun is quite good. I didn't spot any mistakes for the pronoun, I can say.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a good answer. Yeah, it's a good
Okay.
one. Probably it's because we talk about schools that actually it's our world, right? It's your world, so it's quite easy to do that. So what about if we change to another topic?
Okay.
Um, what about this? Do men and women have the same attitudes to shopping? Yeah.
Uh, Sir,
Mm-hmm.
uh, according to the question are is do uh is that or maybe possible or a must?
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that yes or no or
Oh, okay.
something
You
or
mean to answer it? Yeah.
uh-huh.
Um, you can actually do that, answering like yes, I do. For example, like do men and women have the same attitudes? Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you start actually just to answer the question is fine too. Or if you don't, then it's still fine, because the point is
Okay.
you answer in a whole sentence that
Uh,
actually
all
fits
right.
to the question.
Okay.
Okay, tell me when you're
Okay.
ready.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Are you done? Okay.
Right. Well, currently there are number of differences here between the attitudes to shopping men and women. However, I guess the most significant differences are the things to buy between men and women. For example, for men, uh, the things that they are buy, like some electronics, maybe some utilities for their hobbies, or some maybe, yeah, newcomers in technology. In comparison with women, they are uh, mostly shopping to the things like fashion, skincare, and some some update trends in, maybe in social media. Moreover, uh, when women shopping, they tend to buy, or likely to get some discounts, and maybe bargain to the seller. Yeah. Uh, Although men mostly direct when they are buy something, and without some bargain, or searching any discounts. That's all, sir.
Hmm. Okay. So men tend to, what's it, to buy things like newcomer technology.
Yeah,
Is it true?
hobbies, also hobbies.
Wait, huh? Like what is it? Hobbies?
Yeah, yeah. uh, some electronics and hobbies, utilities for their hobbies, and
Mm-hmm.
electronics.
Mm, okay. Because you said that newcomer technology or something. Newcomer. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
newcomer.
I mean that
Uh,
the
I
latest.
I know the latest technology, right? The latest gadget. Let's say the newcomer technology. The co-location or the I can say that maybe we can change not newcomer or what
Okay.
is it? The newcomer technology or
Update or the latest, sir, or
maybe the latest gadget
the
probably
latest. Yeah.
because I say the latest technology. Which technology? And because like technology is for it's for wide, far too wide. I mean, even the solar panel is technology, but I don't think that men buy that for just doing their hobbies, right? I mean,
Okay.
um, so in terms of the gadget and the devices, I guess. So the latest devices or the latest gadget to help them fulfilling their needs to their hobby,
Okay.
for example.
Yeah.
And then
Mm-hmm.
for women, they tend to buy what is it? What did you say?
Fashion,
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 more like
skincare.
tend to buy fashion. Say, buy fashion. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Probably it's not supposed to be fashion, but buy can say really dress or clothes probably,
Okay,
or
okay.
buy things related to fashion like clothes or
Related there.
what again? What is it? A dress, right?
Uh-huh.
Or probably underwear or something. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be that it's needed for women as well, right? And and then yeah, cosmetics as well that you have said. And then what is the second distinction?
Uh, the second, skincare, sir.
Huh? You said that skincare is part of the first idea, right? First
Oh,
difference.
okay.
I mean for
Alright,
the
alright.
second difference.
It is about uh, the way women more likely to get discounts
Oh,
and
okay. Mm-hmm.
bargain, right?
Bargain, yeah, the discount and
Uh-huh.
bargain for the stuff. While men, they are keener to buy something. What's it? What is it? The idea about the men?
I just say that direct.
Um, they tend to buy. Probably can say the men tend or men are keener on the attitudes to buy something. Um, I don't know, direct buying. I don't know, like it doesn't fit in my mind as well. Like direct buying, they tend to buy. Um, Probably can say immediate buying better than that. Like immediate
Immediate.
buying, no matter how much the price of the stuff
All
is,
right.
when they need it, they will buy it, no matter how expensive or how pricey the stuff is, maybe. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Let's go on to the next question.
Okay.
Uh, okay, I will let you choose it.
Mm. Uh, maybe about, do old and young people like the same hobby, sir?
Okay.
Okay. But I want to try without a notes, sir.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Of course, it's okay. When you're ready. That's what I told you.
Okay, I'll try. Uh, well, currently there are some there are some possible differences here, uh, between the hobbies, old and young people. However, I guess the more significant differences are are like the the way they choose or do the activities for their hobbies. For example, for old people, uh, to to do their hobbies, like maybe fishing or playing tennis or playing golf. Yeah, for old people, uh, they have to go to the park or the sport station, or yeah, directly to the field. Uh, However, in comparison, the young people do their hobbies uh, in nowadays. We can say that their hobbies like um, playing in the computer, playing games like so many online games as their hobbies for young people. I mean, so they have not to go to the direct place, or I mean that they just sit down in their home, in on the chair. They can play their hobbies, like maybe some games in the internet. Uh, Moreover, I want to say that for all people, maybe their hobbies can make their healthier because they do some physical activities. But maybe for young people nowadays it's less for the cycle activity, but maybe can give more, I mean that money, to earn money as they, I mean that their hobbies can make some monies for young people in this era. That's also
Okay, wow, it's quite long.
okay.
Hmm. Okay, the hobbies for old people, they like to play the sport. Is that it? What do you say? Like
Yeah,
like
some
to play
sport
physical
lah,
sport,
but
you mean? Is it
yeah,
like
and have to going to the park or something. That sports station. I mean that.
okay, so they tend to like the sporting activities, like physical sporting activities, while
Yeah,
youngsters they like to play something related to online or computerized um, device, yeah, like
yeah,
online game or something. Hmm. And then the next idea you said that the older people they tend to be healthier. Is that it?
yeah. Because of their hobbies. Yeah, true. Right, right.
Mm, okay, because all right. The question is just do old and young people like the same hobbies? So you just actually you have to find another difference. I mean, for example, like okay, sporting
Okay.
activities, sporting physical activities, for the older people, and the second difference probably they like to do a calm activities. Probably they like to do calm activities like gardening, or for example,
Okay.
listening to Mozart, maybe, right? I mean, if
Okay.
you
Okay.
said that they tend to be healthier, I'm
Uh,
afraid that it didn't answer the question. I mean, like the coherence. Uh,
yeah.
you are not asked about the effect of doing the hobby,
Mm,
right? But you said
yeah.
that. So and the explanation is actually it's okay if you put it like the explanation after the first difference, but since you put it on the second difference, then I'm afraid that it's supposed to be something parallel, like when you state about the activities in the first difference, then the second one's supposed to be activities as well, but different one. You got my point? Okay,
Okay.
so it's not the
Okay.
effect of the first idea, because what you said is the
Okay.
effect of the first idea. So I'm afraid that the coherence will be a bit hurt for that.
Okay.
And the way you explain it, I can say that it was a bit uh, like, for example, when you said for the youngsters, when you said for young people, while for young people, the hobbies like, you said that. While for young people, the hobbies like playing games, moreover online
Yeah.
games or something. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the way you arrange the sentence is not really clear
Okay.
for that term. So probably it's better if you can change to be like, while for youngsters or young people, they tend to like something more modern, like for
Um,
example, online game, or even they
okay.
like to play something that is related to some gadgets or devices, like for example, playing esport, or playing or just playing TikTok maybe, or putting their videos on Instagram or something. So probably can put that. Okay, but the way you arrange it still, for that sentence and several sentences before, because probably without the note, then it's kind of easy for you to get lost for the idea, because you try to think, you don't want to lose the fluency, right? But then
Yes.
the coherence is got hurt, is it gotten hurt from that. Yeah. Not mentioning the grammar. I didn't want to talk about the grammar because the idea is first. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's okay. It's
Okay,
okay.
sir.
Let's try another question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to start it. Also. Is public transport nowadays the same as public transport 20 years ago?
All right. Okay. I try to answer directly, yes, sir.
Yeah, of course. Without a doubt.
Okay. Well, uh, there are a number of
Sorry, they
possible
are or there are? What you
difference.
said? There are or they are?
There are, sir.
Okay, there are because in
There,
my
not there.
you said and what I'm listening, what I've listened just now is they are
Okay.
the clarity. Okay, okay, it's fine. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, listen.
Okay. Okay. There are a number of possible differences here. However, I think the most significant differences are, uh, I mean that the modern technology in using of the transportation between nowadays and 20 years ago. Uh, for example, uh, 20 years ago, we know that uh, we still, sorry, uh, we could or we used like uh, uh, bicycle for the public transportation or something that without a machine, but it possible to as a transportation for peoples. In comparison with nowadays transportation, we see or we can predict that there there are so many um, progressive progressive movement in transportation, especially public transportation. Uh, for example, nowadays we can see so many uh, rap sorry mass MRT, the very fast train, or we just or we maybe use in daily activity like an online uh, motorcycle or online car that is tend to the public transportation to like in yeah some play store we can use it uh, and then another differences we can say in the past the cost of the public transportation we said that it quietly expensive. Yeah, I mean that if in the past we used like taxi, yeah, taxi as a public transportation is kindly quite expensive. But in nowadays, uh, taxi for public transportation more likely cheaper. I don't know, maybe it just about the uh, economic fluctuation or just something like that.
Okay.
Uh, sir, that's all.
Yeah. Wow, it's very long anyway. It's very long. Um, um, Probably if it's possible, try to. caught some informations unneeded, like when you explain about in the past, the transportation, the
Uh,
public transportation used, or the public transportation um, didn't
mm.
use any machine or something. That's the point, right? You said that, right? They didn't use the machine or something.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Mhm. Didn't use
Yeah,
the machine.
machine.
But the question is, it's 20 years ago. Are you sure that they don't use the machine?
Uh,
Right?
uh, 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 as
Okay.
actually, I would say that, uh, but I cannot use it. I wanna say that in past we usually use like maybe becak or something like a bicycle, sir.
Oh,
So
okay.
those
Are you sure in 20
vehicle
years,
without machine.
in 20 years ago, people use that without any machine to the public transport? Because in part three, it has to be logic.
Yeah, yeah.
For some reason, it have to be
Okay,
logic.
okay, okay.
Okay. Um, I said that you can make up the story, but um,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to part three, you
Mm-hmm.
can't make any. You have it still have to be logic. Okay. If the question is 20
Okay.
years ago, then you have to think it's 20 years. Don't think that it's 100 years ago, because when you said it like 100 years ago, probably the public transport was something like pedicab, or probably just horses or cart,
Okay.
right? It still have to be still have to make sense.
Okay.
Okay.
20
Apart from
years.
that, the way you explain is still, I can say that it's a bit rounded, so it's kind of hard to get the point that you want to say. And sometimes you put the point at the end of your answer. So, for example, like when you said that the machine, the
Mm-hmm.
transportation without the machine, you put it at the end. It's supposed to be at the beginning, and then you put the explanation. But you put the explanation first, which is I'm kind of hard to
Uh,
find the reason or something, or to find the explanation for this, but you put it by the end of the answer, of the point, so that's why kind of hard to catch the point about it.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
so in this term I can say that the coherence and also the cohesiveness still need to
Cohesive.
be, yeah, still need to be improved. Okay,
Mhm.
not mentioning the grammar sometimes. Probably for this question, you can spotlight the, okay, for something 20 years ago. Probably you can say the variety of public transport are limited. Probably,
Mhm.
probably like in the past, the variety of public transport um, available was
Mhm.
not as many as what we've seen today. Like in the past, probably the public transport was such thing as bus or train, or
Mhm.
probably, yeah, you said pedicab probably. But nowadays we've seen a lot more variety of public transport, like for example MRT, LRT, even the conventional transportation like bus or train. We still have the opportunity to use them, but
Mhm.
we have more options nowadays, see. And for the second difference, probably you can spotlight the system. In the past, when you want to use public transport, you had to go to a station where you had to buy the ticket. But
Yeah.
nowadays, you can do it online
Right. Right.
with just your gadget, just your smartphone, and you don't have to be in a queue, because the ticket can be printed and it will be sent to you through PDF, and you can just print it out and show it to the conductor, and then it's done. You can just go everywhere you want,
All right.
right?
Mhm.
It's a lot easier,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Okay.
Okay.
So the point is try to think simply, but still logic.
Logic. Okay.
Because what make what makes part three kind of hard is because people think too hard about something that sometimes is beyond their ideas and sometimes it's getting hard and rush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so make sure that when you have a question, try to find the simplest one. Okay, and the way we think, it has to be from the introduction, the
Uh-huh.
explanation, sorry, the point of what we want to state, the explanation and example. It's always be that way. Okay, so
All
don't
right.
try to mixing up like I want to start with the explanation first and then the example and then the idea. I mean, it's getting rounded. So it's better if we think um like when we arrange the idea and I mean like when we try to write something, it's better if
Mm-hmm.
we put the main idea in the beginning of the passage, right? Rather than you put it in the end of the passage of the paragraph. So try to think that way and it will make you easy.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
let's
sir.
try let's try another question. Okay. Um this one. Nowadays, do people make new friends in the same way as people 20 years ago? Remember, 20 years ago, the way people make new friends.
Okay.
Okay. Wait. I need to take the drink. Is it fine?
Okay, sir.
While you think for 5 seconds.
Okay.
Uh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Well, there's a number of possible differences here. However, I think the most significant differences are are about the the way of people using maybe technologies to make new friends. Uh, for example, uh, 20 years ago, when we when we met someone, we try to interact. We maybe if we got some chemistry, we could possible that we have make friends, or when we are in school, like old school friends or some college, or maybe in our community. However, in comparison, nowadays people tend to make new friends from using the modern technology like social media. Uh, this is maybe the advantages of using social media. So there are the differences between 20 years ago people make new friends uh, to nowadays people uh, try to make a friends. uh,
Mm.
uh,
Okay. Wow. I was quite thinking. um. So in the past, people made new friends
uh,
after they gather in some organization, after they joined some organizations. Is that it?
yeah, after met, then maybe got some interaction and got some chemistry.
Is that they had to be in a chemistry? I mean, they had to be an organization, and the point is that right before they get a
Okay.
new friend.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then what about this the way people meet friends nowadays? What did you say?
uh, uh, I mean that by using the modern technology like
Okay.
social media.
Using the modern technology. Did
Uh-huh.
you say
Uh-huh.
what modern technology or social media used?
Oh, not yet.
No,
No, no,
because I
no.
believe it's quite important to explain.
Okay.
And if it's possible, you can use the probably the example like well, people like to use Facebook or like to use
Mm,
Instagram, like social media, because we have plenty of social media, but not all of them probably can be used to make friends or something. Right? Okay.
oh, more
Prob-
specific, yes, sir. Yeah.
Probably more specific as it's quite
Okay.
better for that. So I guess that the explanation still needs more extra added information.
Okay.
Um, so you just put one difference only.
Yeah.
See, when you put just one difference, make sure that you explain it quite detailed. Yeah, you can put the extra example or
Oh,
you can
all
put
right.
more extra explanation, but still don't let it to be something that will ruin the coherence or the cohesiveness.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay,
Mhm.
only that I guess.
Because I have no idea, sir. So I just put one
Okay,
sample.
one reference. Okay, it's fine. Mhm. Okay, what about this? Now it's quite interesting. Are the ways in which people become famous nowadays the same ways that people become? It's supposed to be became famous 100 years ago. 100 years ago.
100. Okay. Uh, uh, I'll try, sir. Nowadays, yeah. 100. All right. Uh, can I start now, sir?
Yeah, you can go start it.
Okay. Well, uh, there are a number possible differences here uh, between the nowadays people became famous and 100 years ago people be became famous. However, I think that the most significant differences are the the effect, or I may say that the quality uh, of people becoming famous. For example, 100 years ago, the famous people were uh, w- the famous people when they were make some contribution to the country, to the world, like maybe uh, created innovation in fashion for the better human living. Uh, However, nowadays we see that to be, become a famous person, it's more likely just maybe you're as a celebrity, or maybe you uh, exist in some social media like maybe Instagram or YouTube. YouTube, yeah. So that's why the differences between 100 years ago, mm, and nowadays people to become a famous person. That's also.
Okay. All right. I have to tell the truth that the idea is very good. I've never thought about it really.
Okay.
Like 100 years ago, if people wanted to become famous, then they had to do something for others. It could be for their family, for their country, for their city, or for the world, right? But
Yeah.
nowadays, people just have to be on social media and they can become viral and they can become famous. Okay, the idea is pretty good.
Mhm.
And the way you arrange it is
Okay.
also good. Just probably there were some work orders that I think uh,
Uh-huh.
needed need to be fixed. I mean, need to see it roughly. Like a
Mhm.
hundred, you say, you get this one. Nowadays, people become famous. You said that. Nowadays,
Yeah.
people
Mhm.
become
Mhm.
nowadays people become famous. Nowadays is the adverb anyway. Nowadays, people become famous. Nowadays, people become famous. People become famous nowadays, or nowadays people become famous.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So the word
The
orders,
adverb
yeah,
always at the back is or behind is
it's always after the verb. Okay, the verb is become. Okay,
okay.
become. So the difference
Okay. Okay.
between,
Okay.
we can say this one, the difference between famous people in the past or famous people 100 years
Mhm.
ago, not 100 years famous people. I mean, like it's kind of weird to have that orders. Okay, so the word order made it hard to understand
Uh-huh.
the point. Okay,
Okay.
but still,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it through what the point is. Um, and then when you said famous, you say famous several times.
Okay. Okay.
Famous, famous. I kind of forget.
Famous.
Famous was kind of like food from Sichuan. Okay, like so famous,
Okay.
like
Okay.
okay, it's supposed to be famous.
Famous.
Yeah, just that only.
Famous.
For the idea, I have no problem at all. Oh, okay, just probably this. You said that while however nowadays people just
Mhm.
have to be on social media and they will get famous. If I wasn't wrong, you said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Right.
um, but it has to be more logic. Like, okay, for example, like I'm a mere person. I'm just a casual person, and then I put my video on YouTube. Do you think that I will
Mhm.
be viral? So
Depends.
yes, of course, but the possibility is kind of hard. So that's why you have to make extra explanation. Like, um, while nowadays people can be famous just by doing
Uh-huh.
crazy things and make them viral, and they can be
Uh-huh.
famous. So you can just get
Oh.
like they just put something on social media and they will be famous. It's kind of
Okay.
right. So you have to do something first in order to get
Mhm.
famous. Sorry, to get viral and then
Okay.
to get famous by the end of the day, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So the logic still have to be there. So you're gonna just get things. You got my point?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Mhm.
right? Oh, okay, next question. Is it Azan?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to break from it or continue?
No, no.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. Are TV programs nowadays the same as TV programs in the past? The second one.
Okay. Is my voice can be heard, sir?
Yeah, can be heard.
Okay. Mm, all right. I try to talk or start now, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, there are a number of possible differences here. I mean that uh, between TV programs nowadays and TV programs in the past. However, I think the most significant differences are the content of the programs. For example, uh, in the past, we often watch like mm, the programs about news and then about uh, culture or maybe some movies that stories about some foreign cultures uh, in comparison with nowadays as we seen at the TV the programs are mostly like for entertainment. Yeah, I mean that for maybe music programs or like the the trivia of the movies, or some maybe some quizzes. Moreover, uh, in the past, TV programs are uh, quite limited to access. Yeah, but nowadays it tends to uh, free accessible because so many provider or maybe programs to offer to the peoples. That's also.
Okay. Actually, for the last difference, I didn't really get the point. What did you say for the last point?
uh, I
Because it's
mean
kind of hard
that
to catch.
in the past we got some limited to access for television programs.
Limited
Uh,
access for a television program? What do you mean by that? I didn't really get that. That's why it's kind of hard to catch. Uh,
I
because
mean
you
that.
didn't explain it. Like you have to
Okay.
uh,
Yeah.
make it clear. Like for example, maybe in I try to translate it to my mind was
Yeah.
probably because in the past the TV program was
Uh-huh.
just monopoly or something. Monopoly, right?
Oh,
It's monopoly
just
by
one channel.
one TV channel only, TVRE,
Yeah,
TVRI,
yeah.
right?
Uh-huh,
Means
uh-huh.
that
Yeah.
the programs were also limited. Is that what you want to say?
Okay. Yeah.
Was it that you want to say anyway?
Yeah. Actually, yes.
Okay. So the limitation, because when you say that the limited access,
Uh-huh.
there are many. I mean, like it's still ambiguous. There's still ambiguous for that.
Okay.
Like limited to what? I mean, limited to the person, to the broadcasters, or to the viewers, or to what? I mean,
All right.
it's
Okay.
still ambiguous. The point that you want to say about. Okay, that's first. So that's why you have to make it clear, and that's why I didn't really get the point
Okay.
for the second one because it's still unclear and you didn't put any explanation toward it.
All
But
right.
for the first idea, you said that the idea was the first difference was in the past the TV programs were more conventional. What is it? More conventional or something? What did you say?
Uh, I mean that the varieties of
The
the
variety of the
contents, sir.
programs, the variety of the
Okay.
contents on TV
Uh-huh.
were
Uh-huh.
were what? Were not varied.
Uh, j- yeah, just like news or some local
News or
channel.
local channel only. Yeah, some
Uh-huh.
news or local channel, but nowadays the programs are more varied, like quizzes, like many other things as well. Well, anyways, it's a good answer. Just the way you arrange probably need to, sometimes I don't know. It's still hard for me sometimes to catch the explanation and the point because sometimes you put it together. If
Right.
we were back to the example answer, look that the point is actually look here. The point is sporting activities. The explanation is football and basketball, right? This is the point, the sporting activities,
Okay.
and then the explanation or the example is football or basketball. It's the same with this. Things like shopping for clothes, for example. Okay. Okay. So the point is, um, I don't know. Probably it's because the idea that sometimes get rounded. So my suggestion for you
Mhm.
for the part three
Mhm.
is try to broaden your knowledge. I mean, like what you have
Oh.
just for the school. You still remember for this one? I didn't have any comments on it because it's your world. I mean, you've been there for a while, and then that's why the idea I can say that it was quite satisfying
Mhm.
because it was connected.
Okay.
The coherence is quite good. So probably we can try by practicing many other uh, questions so that you can get the broadened
Mhm.
views about the answer. Probably because I guess the problem
Okay.
is not in the way you deliver the message, but on the knowledge. I guess like the idea. Sometimes it's kind of hard for you. Probably kind of hard to tell which idea that I have to put first. Is this answering the question, what about the coherence or something, and sometimes get the confusion about it, probably.
Mhm.
So that's why we will practice more of the questions. And actually, the point is to
Mhm.
make you get used to the questions in every topic because we will never know what topics that we will get in IELTS speaking test, right?
Yeah. Mhm. Right.
If you get the question that is quite easy for you, then it's done. But what about the questions that are quite hard that you've never thought
Mhm.
about? So that's why.
Mhm.
Okay.
Of course.
But
Mhm.
overall, I can say that the arrangements of idea is quite good, and
Mhm.
then the template, I really suggest you to use it all the time and practice it if you have time. For example, like when you have probably when you're taking a bath or something and you have nothing to do, then probably you can just memorizing the uh, the template, the phrases and the linking structures, and I have just given you. Probably.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. Before I close this up, do you have any question?
Uh, oh yeah, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This part, the part three. We cannot make some notes, right?
No, we can't.
Isn't it? Okay. Just direct speak to
Mm-hmm.
the
Yes, immediate answer, of
screen.
course.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. Is that
Okay.
all right? If
Yes.
there's no other question, then let's call it a day and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye.